It's finally happening. If you're reading this message right now, you need to understand something critical. October 29th is not just another day. It's a cosmic pivot point, a spiritual junction, a moment when the universe is making massive adjustments in the invisible realm that will determine the trajectory of your next 6 months. And on this specific day, there are 8 distinct spiritual shifts happening simultaneously, shifts that you must recognize, acknowledge, and align with, or risk losing everything the universe has been preparing to give you. These are not subtle suggestions. These are not optional spiritual practices you can take or leave based on your mood. These 8 shifts are happening whether you're aware of them or not. But your awareness, your response, your alignment with what's occurring, that's what will determine whether you ride these shifts into your breakthrough or get crushed under them. The universe is moving. The question is, are you moving with it, or are you standing still while everything changes around you? The chosen ones have been waiting for this moment. You've been in preparation. You've been in testing. You've been in the refining fire. And now, October 29th marks the moment when preparation meets manifestation, when testing transitions into testimony, when waiting transforms into receiving. But you have to recognize the shifts. You have to understand what's happening. You have to align yourself consciously and intentionally with the cosmic movements occurring on this day, or you will miss the very moment you've been waiting for. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because I'm going to reveal all 7 miracles, what each one means, and exactly what you need to do when you see them. And if your spirit is already stirring, if something inside you is confirming that this message is for you, write 7037 in the comments right now. That number of divine perfection and completion will mark you as someone who is ready to receive what God is about to release. Let me start by explaining why October 29th specifically carries this level of spiritual significance. We're deep into the final week of October now, a week that spiritual traditions across cultures have recognized as a time when the veil between worlds is at its thinnest. We're also approaching the dark moon phase, that period right before the new moon, when the sky is completely dark, when the old cycle is dying and the new cycle is about to be born. In numerology, October is the 10th month, representing completion and new beginnings. The number 29 reduces to 11. 2 plus 9 = 11, a master number of intuition and spiritual insight. This emphasis on the number 11 is significant. It's the number of spiritual awakening, illumination, and divine guidance. When you have this much spiritual energy concentrated on a Wednesday, a day ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, combined with the thinning veil and the dark moon phase, you get a day of unprecedented spiritual power and clarity. But here's what most people don't understand. Power is neutral. Energy is neutral. Spiritual shifts are neutral. They can work for you or against you, depending on how you position yourself. Think of it like a massive wave in the ocean. If you're a skilled surfer who sees it coming and positions yourself correctly, that wave can carry you to shore faster than you could ever swim on your own. But if you're not paying attention, if you're positioned wrong when it hits, that same wave can pull you under. October 29th is bringing 8 massive waves of spiritual energy, 8 distinct shifts in the cosmic atmosphere that will particularly impact the chosen ones, because you're already operating at a higher spiritual frequency. These shifts are coming whether you're ready or not. The question is, are you going to position yourself to ride them into your breakthrough, or are you going to be caught off guard? The first major shift happening on October 29th is a dramatic acceleration in how quickly things manifest from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. The gap between thinking something and seeing it appear is shrinking rapidly. What used to take months can now happen in weeks. What used to take weeks can now happen in days. This acceleration is both a tremendous blessing and a serious warning. The good things you've been declaring, the positive visions, the dreams, the prayers, they're about to manifest faster than you imagined. But negative thoughts, fearful declarations, and toxic patterns will also manifest faster. Your thoughts have always had creative power, but on and after October 29th, that power is amplified exponentially. This means you cannot afford to think carelessly. Starting October 29th, you cannot afford to speak recklessly. Every thought is a seed being planted, and the harvest is coming quickly. If you plant fear, you'll harvest fear. If you plant doubt, you'll harvest doubt. But if you plant faith, abundance, and peace, you'll harvest those just as quickly. How to align. Become hyper-aware of your internal dialogue and spoken words. Set up mental checkpoints throughout the day. When you catch yourself thinking or speaking something negative, stop immediately and replace it with the opposite. If you think, "Nothing works out for me," immediately replace it with, "Things always work for my good." This is spiritual survival in an accelerated manifestation season. The second shift is a massive unveiling of hidden things. Secrets are surfacing, masks are falling, truth is breaking through deception and denial. This operates on multiple levels. Things about yourself you've been avoiding will come to light. People's true characters and intentions are being exposed. Hidden opportunities will become visible, and the real obstacles blocking you will be identified. This exposure might be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You cannot build your future on false foundations. The universe is giving you the gift of sight, the ability to see what's really there, not what you hoped was there. How to align. Don't resist what's being revealed, no matter how uncomfortable. If truth about a person disappoints you, acknowledge it. If truth about yourself challenges you, own it. Pray for revelation. Ask to see what you've been missing, to understand what's been confusing you. When the unveiling happens, receive it with gratitude, knowing that truth always serves your highest good, even when it hurts. The third shift is the cutting of energetic cords that have kept you bound to people, places, and patterns not aligned with your destiny. These are soul ties, deep connections formed through trauma bonds, toxic relationships, codependent dynamics. These ties have been draining your energy and keeping you stuck in cycles that should have ended long ago. October 29th brings a cosmic severance. The universe is cutting these toxic cords. This happens most powerfully for those who consciously participate. How to align. Make a list of every person, place, and pattern you need to release. On October 29th, speak release over each one. I release you. I cut all energetic cords connecting me to you. I take back my energy. I free you to your path and myself to mine. This connection is severed. It is finished. You might feel intense emotion, grief, anger, relief. Feel it all, but complete the process. This is your liberation day. The fourth shift is the opposite of the third. While toxic ties are being severed, divine connections are being magnetized toward you. The universe is arranging encounters and aligning you with people meant for your next chapter. Spiritually aligned friendships, romantic partnerships that match your vibration, professional collaborations, mentors, they're all being moved into position. But these connections don't always look like you expect. Sometimes the right person seems unlikely at first. This is why awareness is critical. How to align? Stay alert and available. Don't isolate. Say yes to invitations you'd normally decline. Go places you don't usually go. The universe is orchestrating meetings, but you have to show up. Pay attention to coincidental encounters. Follow intuitive nudges. Be the kind of person divine connections are drawn to. Operate at your highest frequency. Be positive, open, authentic. The fifth shift is a massive download of wisdom and strategic understanding being released into your consciousness. The universe is opening information channels. You're going to receive answers to questions you've been asking, solutions to problems that stumped you, understanding about situations that confused you. This doesn't come through conventional learning. It drops directly into your awareness, sudden knowing, intuitive understanding that bypasses logic. How to align. Create space for receiving. Don't pack every moment with activity and noise. Meditate, pray, take walks alone. Give your mind room to hear what the universe is saying. When insights come, write them immediately. Keep a journal throughout October 29th. Ask specific questions beforehand. What do you need to know? What needs clarity? The universe responds to specific requests. The sixth shift is the activation of spiritual gifts and supernatural abilities that have been dormant within you. Every chosen one carries specific gifts: healing, prophetic sight, discernment, wisdom, faith, creativity. These gifts have always been within you, but haven't been fully operational. October 29th is an activation day. The universe is turning these gifts on, amplifying their power, making them more accessible. How to align. Pay attention to what feels different. Notice new perceptions, new abilities emerging. Don't dismiss them as imagination, test them. If you feel prompted to pray for someone, do it. If you have sudden insight, speak it. Thank the universe for every gift that activates, then start using them intentionally. Gifts strengthen through use. Don't wait until you feel ready. Step out in faith. The seventh shift is the collapse of false timelines. Alternate versions of your life that could have happened, but weren't meant to. These are the what-if scenarios you've been holding on to. Roads not taken you still wonder about. Relationships that could have developed, but didn't. False timelines keep part of your consciousness trapped in parallel possibilities that don't exist. This divided consciousness weakens you. October 29th brings closure. The universe is shutting down these alternate paths, eliminating those possibilities, answering all your what-ifs with a final no. That wasn't your path. How to align. Let go of all what-ifs. Stop looking back. Stop wondering if you made wrong choices years ago. Make peace with the fact that your path is the right path, even if it's been harder than expected. Write down all false timelines you've held on to and release them. This timeline is not mine. This path was not for me. I release it completely. I trust where I am is where I'm meant to be. Stop second-guessing yourself. Trust that your choices were correct for your journey. The eighth shift is a spiritual promotion, an initiation into higher authority, responsibility, and influence. This is about your spiritual rank, your access in the spiritual realm, the power you carry to affect circumstances and shift atmospheres. Every test you've passed, every trial you've endured, every dark night you've walked through, all of it was preparing you for this promotion. The universe has been watching. Your faithfulness, integrity, and perseverance qualify you for what's being offered. How to align. Receive the promotion humbly but confidently. Don't shrink back saying you're not ready. If the initiation is happening, you're ready. Step into the authority being offered. Start speaking with the confidence of someone who's been promoted. Start moving with certainty. Your words carry more weight now. Your prayers have more power. Use your authority to serve others, to bless, to lift people up. With greater authority comes greater responsibility. As we come to the end of this message, understand what's truly at stake. On October 29th. This is about the trajectory of your next 6 months, your next year, potentially your entire future. The shifts happening are setting the course, establishing the foundation, determining what you'll experience. If you align with these 8 shifts consciously and intentionally, if you position yourself correctly, you're going to experience breakthrough, acceleration, and manifestation that will stun you. Things you've waited years for will suddenly happen. Doors you've knocked on forever will swing open. People you've needed will appear. Clarity will arrive. Gifts will activate. Authority will be yours. But if you ignore these shifts, if you sleepwalk through October 29th unconscious, you won't just delay your breakthrough. You'll actively block it. You'll create resistance that takes months to overcome. You'll miss divine appointments that don't come around again. You'll dismiss downloads that contained your answers. October 29th, 8 spiritual shifts. One cosmic moment. Everything you've been waiting for is on the other side of your alignment with what's happening on this day. Pay attention, stay aware, position yourself correctly, and watch what the universe does with someone who knows how to recognize divine timing and align with cosmic movements. Your breakthrough depends on what you do on October 29th. Choose wisely. Now, let me show you exactly what happens when you ignore these shifts versus when you align with them, because the contrast is stark, and you need to see it clearly to understand what's at stake if you go through October 29th unconscious, treating it like any other day. Several things happen in the spiritual realm that create problems in your physical reality. First, you miss the acceleration window. While others are manifesting quickly, you're still moving at the old speed. You keep planting seeds and wondering why they're taking so long to grow, not realizing that the manifestation timeline changed and you didn't adjust. Second, you remain blind to truths that everyone around you can see. People's real intentions stay hidden from you while they're obvious to others. You continue trusting people you shouldn't trust and doubting people you should embrace. You miss opportunities because you can't see them, and you stay stuck in obstacles because you can't identify what's really blocking you. Third, you stay energetically tied to people and situations that are draining you. While the universe is trying to cut those cords, you keep reattaching them because you're not conscious of what's happening. You wonder why you can't move forward, why you feel exhausted, why certain patterns keep repeating, not realizing that you're spiritually handcuffed to things that should have been released. Fourth, you miss divine connections that could change your life. That person who reached out, you ignored them because you were too busy or distracted. That invitation you declined, that was your door. That random encounter you dismissed, that was orchestrated. The universe brought the right people into your path on October 29th, but you weren't paying attention, so they passed by without connecting. Fifth, you don't receive the downloads meant for you. The answers you need are being broadcast, but your receiver isn't on. You keep asking the same questions, facing the same confusion, wrestling with the same problems. While the solutions were being offered on October 29th, and you weren't in position to receive them. Sixth, your gifts stay dormant while others are activating theirs. You watch people around you stepping into power, operating with authority, moving with confidence, and you wonder why you're still stuck, still uncertain, still feeling like you're on the outside looking in. It's because the activation happened on October 29th, and you weren't conscious enough to participate. Seventh, you stay stuck in false timelines. Still wondering what if, still looking back, still second-guessing yourself. While others are moving forward with clarity and certainty, you're divided, scattered, unable to fully commit because part of you is still elsewhere. And eighth, you miss your promotion. The initiation happens. The authority is offered, but you don't step up to receive it. So it goes to someone else who was paying attention, who was positioned correctly, who recognized the moment for what it was. The result of ignoring these shifts is that you spend the next 6 months wondering why nothing changed. You see others around you experiencing breakthrough while you're still waiting. You watch doors open for people who seem less qualified than you. You notice that things are flowing for others while you're still struggling, and you don't understand why, because you weren't aware that October 29th was the day when everything shifted, and you weren't aligned with the shifts. But when you consciously align with these 8 shifts, when you position yourself correctly on October 29th, everything changes. First, you step into accelerated manifestation. Things you've been working toward for years suddenly come together in weeks. Prayers you've been praying forever get answered quickly. The gap between asking and receiving shrinks dramatically. You start seeing evidence of your faith faster than you ever have before. Second, you gain crystal clarity about everything that was confusing you. You finally see people for who they really are, not who you hoped they were. You recognize opportunities you couldn't see before. You identify the real obstacles, and you know exactly how to remove them. This clarity saves you months or years of wasted time and misdirected energy. Third, you experience profound liberation as toxic ties are cut. You suddenly don't think about certain people anymore. You're no longer drained by situations that used to consume your energy. You feel lighter, freer, more yourself than you felt in years. The patterns that kept repeating finally break. The cycles that kept trapping you finally end. Fourth, you connect with exactly the right people at exactly the right time. That person who reaches out becomes a key relationship in your next chapter. That invitation you accept leads to an opportunity that changes your trajectory. That random encounter becomes a divine appointment that shifts everything. You look back 6 months later and see how everything connected. How every relationship that formed on or around October 29th was precisely orchestrated. Fifth, you receive divine downloads that solve problems you've been facing forever. You suddenly know what to do in situations that had you stumped. You understand dynamics that were previously mysterious. You see solutions that are so clear, you wonder why you couldn't see them before. These downloads become the strategy that guides your next moves and produces breakthrough. Sixth, your spiritual gifts activate, and you start operating with power you never accessed before. You pray and things happen. You speak and atmospheres shift. You create and excellence flows. You sense things before they happen. You know things without being told. You impact people in ways you couldn't before. This is not ego. This is anointing. This is you finally accessing what was always meant to be yours. Seventh, you move forward with complete clarity and zero regret. All the what-ifs are gone. All the looking back stops. All the second-guessing ends. You know with certainty that you're on the right path, that your choices were correct, that where you are is where you're meant to be. This clarity gives you power to move forward with full force. And eighth, you step into authority that changes how you operate in every area. You speak with confidence you didn't have before. You make decisions with certainty you lacked before. You impact situations with power you couldn't access before. People sense something different about you, a weight, an authority, a presence that wasn't there before. October 29th. The result of aligning with these shifts is that you enter the final months of the year with unstoppable momentum. November and December become months of harvest after you positioned yourself correctly in October. Doors open rapidly, opportunities multiply, resources flow, relationships flourish, clarity increases, power amplifies. And you look back at October 29th as the day everything turned, the moment when your reality shifted, the hinge on which your entire future turned. Let me give you a specific blueprint for how to move through. October 29th, to maximize your alignment with these 8 shifts. Morning, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Wake up early with intention. Don't grab your phone immediately. Spend the first 30 minutes in prayer, meditation, or quiet reflection. Declare your openness to all 8 shifts. Say out loud, I'm aware that today is spiritually significant. I align myself with every shift the universe is making. I position myself to receive everything that's meant for me. I'm open, I'm ready. I'm aligned. Journal your specific requests. What do you want to manifest? What truth do you need to see? What connections do you need to release? What connections do you want to attract? What questions need answers? What gifts do you want activated? What false timelines do you release? What authority are you ready to step into? Write it all clearly. Throughout the morning, monitor your thoughts carefully. Every negative thought gets immediately replaced with its positive opposite. Every doubt gets countered with faith. Every fear gets transformed into trust. Afternoon, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is when many of the shifts will become tangible. Stay alert. Pay attention to everything that happens. Every conversation, every message, every coincidence, every thought that pops into your head, every person who reaches out, every opportunity that presents itself. Nothing is random today. Everything means something. If someone unexpected contacts you, pay attention. If you have a sudden insight, write it down immediately. If you feel prompted to reach out to someone, do it. If you're invited somewhere, seriously consider going. If you feel resistance to something, honor that too. Discernment is heightened today. Do your cord-cutting ceremony during this time. Take your list of releases and speak freedom over each one. Be thorough. Be honest. Be firm. Cut those cords completely. Evening 6:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. This is integration time. Review your day. What did you notice? What shifted? What became clear? What connections happened? What insights came? Write it all down. Document your October 29th thoroughly, because 6 months from now, you'll look back and see how significant this day was. Spend time in gratitude. Thank the universe for every shift you aligned with, even if you can't see the full result yet. Gratitude activates and amplifies everything you receive today. Speak declarations over your next 6 months. Claim what's coming. Declare what's manifesting. Establish what's shifting. Your words tonight are planting seeds for rapid harvest. Go to sleep early. Let your subconscious process everything that happened today. Pay attention to any dreams you have tonight. They may contain additional downloads or confirmations. You also need to know the warning signs that you're unconsciously resisting these shifts, so you can course correct immediately. If you experience any of these on October 29th, it means you're fighting the very thing that's trying to help you. Unusual fatigue or heaviness that makes you want to sleep through the day. This is resistance. Your old patterns are trying to keep you unconscious so you miss the shifts. Push through it. Stay awake. Stay alert. Sudden drama or crisis that demands all your attention. This is distraction. Something is trying to keep you so busy, putting out fires, that you don't notice the divine movements happening. Handle what's truly urgent, but don't let manufactured crisis consume your entire day. Overwhelming skepticism or cynicism about everything spiritual. This is your logical mind trying to protect itself from change. Acknowledge the doubt, but don't let it control you. Use faith over skepticism today. Strong pull toward old patterns, old connections, old ways of thinking. This is your comfort zone fighting to survive. The shifts are pushing you out of familiar territory and into new ground. Don't retreat. Move forward. Anger, irritation, or defensiveness when reading about these shifts. This is ego resistance. Something in you doesn't want to change, doesn't want to grow, doesn't want to face truth. That something has to die for the new you to emerge. Let it go. If you notice any of these warning signs, stop and pray immediately. Universe, I recognize this resistance. I release it now. I choose alignment over resistance. I choose growth over comfort. I choose truth over illusion. I choose my future over my past. Help me align with every shift happening today. Finally, I want you to understand the bigger picture of what's happening. October 29th is not isolated. It's part of a larger sequence of spiritually significant days that began with the Libra new moon on October 21st and continues through the end of the month. Each day has had its purpose. October 21st was about planting seeds during the new moon portal. October 22nd was about sacred silence and establishing victories. October 23rd was about re-emergence with new power. October 24th was about recognizing divine signs. October 26th was about seeing 4 specific miracles. October 29th is about aligning with 8 major shifts. October 31st will be about protection and sealing what's been established. You're in the middle of a spiritually intense week that's setting the foundation for your next 6 months. Every day builds on the previous day. If you missed earlier days, don't worry. You can still align starting now, but don't miss anymore. These opportunities don't come around often. The chosen ones who understand spiritual timing, who recognize divine seasons, who align with cosmic movements. These are the ones who experience breakthrough that looks miraculous to others. but is actually the natural result of being in the right place at the right time, doing the right things. October 29th is your right place, your right time. The 8 shifts are your right things. Align with them. Position yourself correctly, and watch what the universe does with someone who knows how to cooperate with divine timing instead of fighting against it. This is your moment. This is your day. This is your cosmic appointment with destiny. Don't miss it because you were too busy, too distracted, too skeptical, or too unconscious. Think about everything you've been through to get to this point. Think about the nights you cried yourself to sleep, wondering if things would ever change. Think about the prayers you prayed when you had no evidence that anyone was listening. Think about the moments you wanted to give up, but something inside you whispered to keep going. Think about the losses that felt like they would destroy you, but somehow didn't. Think about the betrayals that should have made you bitter, but instead made you stronger. Think about the closed doors that hurt at the time, but were actually protecting you from wrong paths. All of it, every tear, every trial, every test, every dark night, was preparation for this moment. You didn't survive all of that, just to miss the very day when everything you survived for is being offered to you. You didn't endure all of that just to be unconscious when the shifts happen. You didn't hold on through all of that just to let go right before the breakthrough manifests. October 29th is what you've been waiting for. The 8 shifts are what you've been praying for. The alignment is what you've been preparing for. Don't let this day pass like any other day. Don't treat this moment like it's ordinary. Don't sleepwalk through the most important cosmic appointment of your year. Be present, be aware, be intentional. Mark this day, honor this day, maximize this day. Because 6 months from now, when you're living in the breakthrough, when you're experiencing the manifestation, when you're walking in the authority, you'll look back at October 29th as the hinge on which everything turned. The universe has been orchestrating this moment for longer than you realize. Every person who left your life made room for the right people to enter. Every opportunity that closed created space for better opportunities to open. Every delay was actually divine timing, ensuring you wouldn't receive blessings before you were ready to steward them properly. Every test was developing the character and capacity you need for where you're going. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing was meaningless. It was all leading to October 29th, and now you're here. You made it. You're standing at the threshold of everything you've been believing for. The question is, will you step through? Will you align with what's happening? Will you position yourself to receive? Or will you let doubt, distraction, skepticism, or unconsciousness cause you to miss the very moment you've been waiting for? The chosen ones who understand this moment, who honor this timing, who align with these shifts, they're the ones who will be testifying 6 months from now about the miraculous turnaround that happened in their lives. They're the ones who will be living in breakthrough while others are still waiting. They're the ones who will be operating in authority while others are still struggling. Not because they're better, not because they're more deserving, but because they were aware, aligned and ready when the cosmic moment arrived. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. This is not spiritual fantasy. This is reality. October 29th, 8 spiritual shifts. One day that determines the trajectory of your next 6 months and potentially your entire future. Be aware of what's happening in the invisible realm. Be aligned with the movements of the universe. Be ready to receive everything that's been prepared for you. This is your breakthrough moment, disguised as an ordinary Wednesday. But there's nothing ordinary about October 29th. There's nothing common about these 8 shifts. There's nothing random about you reading this message right now. Your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of your obedience to what the universe is showing you today. Your manifestation is ready to be released the moment you align with these shifts. Your destiny is prepared to unfold as soon as you position yourself correctly. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment to step into everything that's been prepared for you since before you were born. October 29th is the day your preparation meets your promise. Your faithfulness meets your favor. Your endurance meets your elevation. The waiting is over. The shifts are here. The moment is now, October 29th, the day your life changes.